ladies and gentlemen, you are witnessing one of the rarest events that can actually occur. Rarer than the blood moon, which seems to happen all the time. Rarer than the super blood wolf moon, which also seems to happen all the time. This is a Monday night. And I'm speaking loudly in my room. This is rare. This is truly a rare night. And I'm kind of glad because I actually came up with something that I wanted to talk about. Actually, this gives me an idea. I need to go on to the thing. I'm very prepared. That I wanted to talk about. And it's sort of a sequel to the last vlog I did about video games and friends and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of an interesting thing. I don't know. Wow, I've gotten very distracted, despite the fact that I'm much more prepared for this one than I was for the last one. But yeah, it is a Monday night. Can you believe that shit? That's weird. So here's what I wanted to talk about anyway. So I just did this these tweets a little while ago. And it just got me thinking, and it's like it connects, so that's why I wanted to. I talked about how I love seeing like all the Fire Emblem Three Houses art that's on Twitter. God, I hate to derail this topic, but I just wanted to mention briefly that this time I'm actually using my cell phone to record the vlog. And it's very different because usually I have like the thing in front of me so I can watch myself as I go, but I can't do that this time, so I'm just kind of hoping for it. The shot I was able to get lined up because I was able to see it in the reflection of my laptop screen. So that's how like meta this is right now. And I just wanted to mention that because whatever. You can also take a drink of water without ruining anybody's ears because I'm not using my microphone. It's really good water, drink it. Anyways, I did these tweets about how I love seeing all the Fire Emblem Three Houses art, and I love it. I really do. It's so cool, like, actually being a part of something, because half the time I'm not a part of whatever game is popular right now. You know, I mean, I was there for Persona 5, which was great. Xenoblade 2 didn't really have anything, but there were a lot of games I felt that come out and then I don't really have any connection to it, like Undertale, and, Deltarune, that's the one I was actually thinking of. It's like people draw this art from stuff, and I'm like, I don't get it. But you know, with Three Houses, it's like it's something that I'm passionate about. Like I said, Fire Emblem is one of my favorite series. Clearly, because I have jammed now. Whatever my total was last time, I'm up to 120 hours. I think almost 125 hours in Three Houses now, which is a lot. Which is the second highest. Like I've had Breath of the Wild I've had Smash for months, and I've put 125 hours in that. I've had Breath of the Wild for years, and I've put 125 hours in that. Fire Emblem I've had for less than a month, and I've put 125 hours into it. It's crazy. I love Fire Emblem. Like, there are often times when I'm like, whatever, Fire Emblem, they do weird shit with it, but at my core, I love Fire Emblem. And we're going to talk more about that today. But yeah, I love seeing all the art. I love feeling like I'm a part of something, right? I love seeing it when my favorite character gets drawn and I get to smash that like button. Because goddamn, I just love seeing art of my favorite characters. I love seeing the funny things that people make out of it. I love seeing the the comics and the interpretations, and then the beautiful stuff, the pictures of Dimitri in the rain and all that. Like, I love it, man. I love seeing it. And every time I see stuff like that, I'm like, I can draw, right? I can draw. And it's like everybody's so inspired. It's like people I follow, like, just draw thing after thing. It's like character after character. It's like, all right, this character, colored, done, signed, sealed, tweeted, done. All right, next one, here's a poll. Answer the poll. 666 votes. I meant to say 667. It's okay. I'm possessed. It's great. But yeah, and it's frustrating to me because it seems like everyone's so inspired, and everyone gets inspired in just a different way than I do. And it's so weird. And it's frustrating to me as someone who wishes to be creative and productively creative and creatively productive, actually. Like, it's frustrating to me to see all of this art and stuff. Let me just, oh yeah, I can see it. It's awkward. All of this art and stuff getting, actually, I don't even know that it's recording. Can I see that? I can. Okay, good. Just want to make sure. I'll need a clever way to do that maybe in the future. But yeah, it's so frustrating for me to see all of this stuff getting made. And then there's me, like, over here, like, all it does is, like this literally happens to me. I'll be scrolling through Twitter. I've finally turned off my Switch. I've turned off my other laptop. I've done this, I've done that. And then, and then what happens is I'll be scrolling through Twitter and I see a picture of somebody drew the Golden Deer house. And I'm like, damn. Now I just want to play more Fire Emblem, and guess what happens? I turn on the Switch machine, and I'm like, damn it. So it's like it's weird that I don't get inspired in that way. And it's really with any drawing. I'm finding more and more. I say this in my second tweet. It's hard for me to get motivated to finish a drawing or really do anything. And my other thing is that I can't just open up a program and doodle. Like, why couldn't I just hammer out like a chibi byleth in 5 minutes? I could do that, right? Anybody can do that. It's like it's a big deal, and I should do that. But for some reason, I don't. And I don't know why I don't do it. Like, it's practice. I don't understand the concept of practice. And this doesn't just apply to drawings, it applies to everything. And the whole reason I wanted to vlog about this is because I would love to solve this problem. Let me tell you a story. Or let me just mention something. Back in high school, I was prolific as hell. I was like always working on something. Yeah, obviously there were times when I did video games. There's actually a pretty great break somewhere in there where I actually didn't do video games because my Wii broke. And that was my main system at the time, so I really didn't have anything to play. Like I wasn't really keeping up with new releases or anything like that. And that might have been my most productive time ever. I don't know. Maybe I just need to break my Switch or something. But I was prolific back then. You know, in the beginning of high school, I was still writing. I was still drawing a lot. I was still doing a whole lot of this stuff. You know, I was writing Mage Boy 4. I was drawing for it. I was drawing this and that and the other to try and adjust to my life. Art was an outlet for me as a teenager. And it just got me through everything, you know, in a way. Because I was able to sort of have this outlet. If I was mad, I could go home and I could draw this angry character and you know, or write this angry scene, or write a short story about me throwing the guy I hated down the stairs, you know. Normal kid stuff. It's weird that I can't do that. It's weird that I can't do that anymore, it seems like. Because I have those days. And I don't know. Do I think it's immature that I do that? That I, like, write people into stories, or try to write people into stories, or try to, you know, morph the world into the way I want it to be through creative works? I don't know. I mean, part of it, like this Fire Emblem thing specifically, is because I don't feel like artistically I have anything to contribute. My style, I realize, is a very sort of basic anime style. Like, if I were to draw a Byleth, it would just be that, and that would be it. You know? That's really it. You know, so I always have to think of something creative. I have to think of another way to design things. Design is usually why I draw. And I'm aware of this, and it's kind of always how it's been for the most part. I think I've kind of narrowed it down over the years, is that like when I draw, I want to draw something new that nobody's seen before. That's why I tend towards OCs and redraws of characters in different ways. My first idea when talking about Three Houses was I wanted to draw the Runaway guys as Three Houses. I think I mentioned that in the last one too. But it's just I never do that. I never am happy with it. And that's the other part, is that I'm never happy with it. But in order for me to get better, in order for me to experiment, I have to mess up. I have to make these mistakes. And for some reason, I cannot lend myself to do that. I cannot bring myself to try new things if I don't get a product at the end. I can't try for trying's sake. And that's what bothers me. Like I said, that's that's with any creative endeavor. The guitar thing, it's like I should pick it up and for 15 minutes a day or something, or half an hour, which isn't much, pick it up and strum on it. Play the same chords over and over again. Play the songs that I learned when I first got it. Like, just do it. Like every half an hour, like every day for like half an hour, and that's it. I'll get better. And that's the concept that for some reason my fingers don't understand. It's like my brain gets it, but I can't make myself do it. I should doodle. I should try to doodle these characters and learn from the experience and try different styles and try to learn different techniques and practice using my tablet. And get used to it and all that, it's like I should do these things and I can do them, and for some reason I don't. And I think that's why the whole vlog before this one happened. And I think that the reason I feel bad about spending so much time on video games, even though I like them, even though they make me feel good and make me feel like I have a purpose or something to look forward to. And I'm not just struggling with this, because when I don't have the video games, this is what it is, because it's like I don't have something to do in mind, so it's like I gotta pick something, and picking something is just like out the window. But I think that's part of the reason why I feel bad, because when I take a break from that, and I go into the world that I know and that I love of Twitter, the land of the people who have similar interests to me, then it reminds me that if I'm not doing that, I should be doing this. I should be doing something. And I think that's what's frustrating to me, is that there are a million things that I can be doing, right? There's a million things that I could be doing. To get better at these things. And I never do them. And I think part of the reason I don't do them is because I don't have a whole lot of self-confidence in them. I'm not convinced that my art is very good. There are lots of things about it that are just a mystery to me. Like, I can go to, one of Junie Bug's old streams when she streamed. Why hasn't she done that? I should talk to her. But, and she would do the coloring, and it's like, this is witchcraft to me. I don't understand how you're doing that. Like, the way that most people do shading, it looks very nice. It's very soft. It gives texture to the whole, picture, to the whole area of color, and I just don't understand how that works. I don't know. I mean, it's just, I need to practice. You need to practice. You just, it's like as simple as stop playing the video games and practice and do it, and you'll get better. And that's just how it works. And I don't know why. And I think the other thing is publicity, right? So not only do I go on Twitter, I see these, these works of art, this cool art that I like, and people get reactions, out of it. People get likes, they get retweets. That's how I see it. They get comments and replies and all that stuff. Oh, I love this character and all that stuff. And I know that if I were to do the same thing, would I get the same reaction? Would I get reactions? I mean, I guess if I were drawing characters, I would, but that's the one thing that I have trouble drawing. You know? So I think that's something that also affects it, is that, you know, if I don't have the self-confidence, right, it's like, it's like that old idiom, right? So practice makes perfect. And nobody's perfect, so why practice, right? So that's the idiom, and it describes me to a T, probably. I don't draw unless I'm going to get a product out of it, right? And if the product doesn't pay in its own way, in confidence, in comments, in, you know, likes, then it's not worth doing. And I think a lot of the times my price is too high, which is another mental hurdle that I have to jump over. Because there's a lot of things that I should finish and really shouldn't be that much work or that much things, but it's like, you know, it doesn't help that I'm a perfectionist that agonizes over every single detail. Let me check. I move away from the mic to breathe in. Wow. So yeah, it's just a frustrating time. So I think the cool thing, another thing that frustrates me about the video game side of this, is that video games used to inspire me a lot. Like, and media in general used to inspire and influence me a lot. I would see a movie and I'd be like, I want to write my own version of this, and a new story would happen. I would play a game and I would be like, wow, I'd really like to write something like this, and it would happen. And it's like, in my adult life, I feel that so much less. Like, it's interesting just comparing it throughout the Fire Emblem series. Like, with Awakening, I had a whole canon about how my character got there, what he did, how he reacted, what he did during the war. You know, what would he do in the situations that Robin was in. I did that a little less so with Fates, and that's partially Fates' fault. Yeah, I mean, when I played Fire Emblem 7, which didn't even have a self-insert character, I came up with this entire world, this entire novel series, just out of that, just because it inspired me so much. And it's like, today I don't have a trace of that. I get very close to starting something. I got very close earlier this year with Fully Cooley. Fully Cooley is a series that I have loved for years and years. The 2 new series came out last year that were not great, and I think my inspiration was more so, I can do it better. And I got very close to starting to write it. In fact, I did start it. I got a couple paragraphs in, decided I didn't know what perspective I wanted to write it in, and then I stopped. But I had a whole lot of stuff done because it was supposed to be a simple project. All I would have to do is write 6 episodes of TV, and really that shouldn't be that hard, because on script it's like it would be a lot shorter, you know. So it was, you know, and I was really close to starting it, and I was very inspired because I love the Pillows music, and there is like an ample amount of Pillows music out there to inspire you to do things in that universe, and it's like, it still never got off the ground. I mean, something like Xenoblade has mildly, and I love Xenoblade, it's got my favorite soundtrack of all time, and it, I hate that phrase, we'll talk about that another day. Oh, it's got my favorite this of all time, yes, all time, including the 1400s, when I didn't exist, Xenoblade was still my favorite. We'll get maybe some other day. But yeah, I mean, Xenoblade mildly inspired me to do some things, maybe. And it's sad. I don't know if it's just that my childhood innocence is gone or whatever, but it's sad to me that I've lost it. That video games and that media has lost its grip on me, to the point where I think I'd rather critique it rather than create it, and that bothers me. because I used to create it, and I used to love creating it, and I used to be able to, and I used to make something that I was proud of, and if I just did it, I would do it, and it would be done, and I would have something, and I don't know why, day after day, week after week, I don't just do it. You know, it can you see where it's frustrating? It's like, because I have talent, right? I consider writing absolutely one of my strengths. I write like no other. I have a unique way of writing. And I think that if I were to continue to hone that craft, I'd be really good at it. Art's kind of secondary. Writing has always just kind of been my thing, whether it's been, novel writing or songwriting or poem writing or whatever. Writing has always sort of been the thing for me. Drawing has been kind of secondary. Music has kind of been secondary. I literally did music for that many years to be cool, and I have no idea how I did that. Because I can commit to nothing nowadays, so it's like, ugh, you know. But yeah, it's been very frustrating, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if I just need a friend being like, hey, it's 9 o'clock. Draw something and show it to me. You know, and I just, first of all, I don't know how that would work. I can't guarantee that works, so don't do it. We would need to, talk about it. But yeah, it's frustrating. It's very, very frustrating to me that I can't. That in my older age, and it's funny because it's like I wouldn't think twice about that if I didn't know that someone older than me was going to watch this probably. That in my age that is older than when I was an adolescent, and see, there's my unique writing style. It's also how I speak. That I just can't be creative anymore. Oh, hey. There's Courtney's ear. That's nice. I guess I just hit the thing and it went out of sleep mode. So now my glasses are going to reflect, which is something that's not great. But yeah, I mean, that's just it's the other side of that. It's the love-hate relationship I kind of have with video games now. It's great that it brings me together with people, but there's always this feeling of not guilt, but inadequacy, I suppose, of something, just that, I don't know, and it's frustrating to me. It's frustrating to me that I went and bought a guitar and I was like, all right, I'm getting back into music, and here I am a month later and I haven't played the fucking thing. It's just, I don't know what it is in me that I can't get to, do these sorts of things. And I plan for it, too. I always think, all right, well, I'll play video games until about 10 o'clock. I know that's when I'm, my most creative, right before I go to bed. So in 15 minutes. Not bed in 15 minutes, 10 o'clock in 15 minutes. Anyways. Yeah, and I plan for it, and I'm like, I'm going to do it a half an hour. That shouldn't be too much to ask for. And every night I don't do it. So it's frustrating to me. And I think that explains a lot of the reason why I'm like, oh, I'm wasting all my time playing video games when I should be doing something else. It's because there are people out there who are not only wasting their time playing video games, but they're making something out of they're making something as a result of them playing video games. And that's beautiful. That's awesome to me, and I want to be able to do that. And for some reason, I just can't. So, video games are frenemies. I had a lot of witty quips planned for the end of this video, but I don't remember what they are now. So, yeah. Happy Monday. Seriously, though, I've had a long weekend this weekend. I've had off Saturday afternoon, Sunday, and today, Monday. And I told myself, all right, Saturday I'm going to goof off. Sunday I'll play Fire Emblem all day, and I did. And today I just ended up goofing off again. And it's like, how can you even manage this? How can one consume so many useless YouTube videos? Although I did discover Giorno's theme from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure today. That shit's lit, and I don't have any regrets about listening to that six or seven times today. But God, it's just like I don't know how I can manage it. Although I do remember last year when I took my vacation, it took me until Thursday of my vacation to actually be any kind of productive. So I think that's another big part of me, is just that, like, working a full-time job, I have to get all of the gunk out of me, and it takes literally all evening for me to do that. And that's gross to me. I can't live my life like that. If I ever own a house, that shit's not going to fly. So it's like, I don't know. Something has to give. I, at some point, have to start reteaching myself discipline. If you wish to help in this endeavor, contact 1-800, get this guy some help, please. I don't know. That. Maybe I just can't be creative anymore, because that was awful. That was awful. Please, have a great day. Have a great day. Have a great